Hey guys, welcome back to the show. Today we're back with an opinion video, and it has a little bit to do with the recent release of the Polaroid camera, but it kind of goes towards the release of film cameras in 2023 or in the past few years. Let's say the new generation of film cameras after film theoretically died and kind of came back. So the best comment I've seen so far about the situation comes from Mike Padua from Shoot Film Co. And I'll read it. This comes from Threads, which, as you know, is the Instagram copy of Twitter. But I'll read the comment as follows. Film photographers. Oh, a manufacturer needs to make a new film camera to keep the industry and the medium I love alive. A manufacturer. Okay, here's one. Film photographers. Ugh, not like that. And this is kind of very interesting and very funny said this way, because we've had a few film cameras come back to the market or come to the market as new film cameras in the past few years. We've had the most recent the Polaroid i2, the previous one probably the Leica M6, the Kodak Reto Photo or Reto Pro H35, H35N, which are these like disposable, reusable cameras with half frame and full frame. We've had Lomography come out with cameras. We've had kind of a few, even Mint do the Polaroid cameras and so on. But every time a camera comes out, we always have a lot of time to hate on it, to disregard it, and to not follow or support a new film camera. It is obvious that when a new film camera comes into market, you're battling against all the legacy cameras that have been made before. And there's so many. I've talked about this before. There's like a huge diversity of film cameras. You could have the photojournalist cameras with a Canon 1V, 1N. You could have the F100s and F6s and F5s, F4s of Nikon. You could go for the more manual cameras like a Spotmatic or a K1000 or any of this stuff, or even Leica stuff. Or you could go for medium format, which were professional system cameras or modular cameras that you could take off the back, and the lenses were made by Schneider or Carl Zeiss, and they were superb. You can go to large format cameras, and they were amazing. But every time something gets done new, it's never up to those standards. Well, you have to understand, back in those days, the market was humongous and the competition was big. Nowadays, the market is much smaller and the competition is only the old stuff. So the resources people have to make these cameras is very complicated. But us, as the film community, and I include myself, are quite much the haters towards this new stuff. But if we don't support these things, there might never be a next generation, of improved generation, a Mark II of this. And I'll make the point with the last Polaroid camera, which obviously I don't have in my hands. Polaroid didn't contact me. I didn't get a hands-on beforehand, and it's fine. I'm not salty about that. I'm very happy that people in the community got it and that there's sponsored content. Willem made a sponsored video by Polaroid. That's super cool that he got sponsored by Polaroid to make a review of the Polaroid, or a review, no, maybe an overview of the Polaroid and go shoot some pictures. And a lot of people have gotten their hands on it. But this camera is an absolutely not smart choice for Polaroid to do, not because of you guys, the customers, but because of the market size of that camera. So Polaroid is fighting to make film better and to make more cameras and make their business sustainable beyond where they are now. And the biggest competition they have is Instax. It's Fujifilm Instax. It's plain and simple. It is not a cell phone. It is not the digicams. It is not anything else. It's Instax. So in that market, what is Fujifilm making? What are the cameras Fujifilm are making? They're making the Instax 10, the Instax 11, the Instax 12, the Instax Digi, Instax that do like digital pictures into film photography and so on. They're not making a professional line of Instax cameras. They're making those very basic Instax cameras because the target demographic is the younger generation between, I'll say, 10 and 20, who buy an Instax camera and 100 packs or 100 shots of the film and shoot it away. I've seen people at birthday parties shooting portraits of their toys with Instax, and you might think, hey, it's like almost $1 a shot. Yes, parents are paying for that, but the kids are shooting brainless. And that's what gives Instax a huge budget to make better film, to make more cameras. I just read the other day that Instax spent $36 million, I think, to make the line more like yield more. I think it was like 25% more film. This is because it's a huge seller. It's the top seller on Amazon every holiday season, the Instax film. And Polaroid, if they chase that, and that's what I think the Polaroid Go was, it's because they can have a volume, a huge amount of film volume going through their factory that gives them basically like rent is paid. Okay, so with this film and this new format and selling it to people that are shooting without thinking about the results or thinking about the technicalities of exposure, they sell a lot more, and then they can do weird things like this camera. So this camera is not selling to those people. This camera is for me, another enthusiast that care about the f-stop, care about sharpness, care about setting manual exposure or threading a cable or using a PC sync or a jack to sync to my strobes in my studio and do some cool alternative stuff, that care about focusing at a distance that is different, that care about multiple exposures, that care about Bluetooth connectivity so they can maybe use an app, that care about saving film prices on film because the battery is included, all this stuff. And this camera is never going to beat like a mechanical camera like the SX70. That thing has stood basically the test of time, is still working today. They're refurbished by multiple companies around the world that are making a business out of it because these cameras were well made. This camera that came now in 20 years won't be working. But that's the thing, like they won't, it's so much harder to make a mechanical shutter than make an electronic shutter. It's so much harder to make glass lens than a plastic lens or whatever they're using in the new one. It's so much harder to make things work in a way that is mechanical instead of an app or with like a LCD and a touch screen. So what I'm trying to say is not that you gotta go and buy this camera because it's the new thing and we should support it, is at least look at it from a different perspective. It's not just you. It's not about you all the time. And I point at me because it's me myself here. Cameras like these are for the market. It's for the expansion of film photography. It's the Leica M6 is not for only the hipsters that we're all making fun of somehow in social media and analog Reddit groups or whatever. These cameras are made to open the possibility that it's possible to make a new film camera in this time and age, and that there's a business behind it. If there's no business behind it, nobody will make them. So that's what we have to think. And like I said, the Leica M6 is not for me, and the Polaroid i2 is not for me, but I'm very happy to see them. And they don't have the features that I would love to have, but I understand that it's not so simple. Like to me, the Leica M6, I would have loved an aperture priority Leica because I loved my Zeiss Icon ZM. I would have loved faster shutter speeds than 1/1000. I would have loved 1/2000 and 1/4000 so I can shoot f2 and daylight, and I would have loved many other things. But I didn't get that. And that's because I understand the technical limitations probably of Leica risking making a camera that maybe needs to put a PCB inside or a light meter. Like it's just not so easy, and the resources are very limited budget wise. And people complain Leica M6 is $5,000. Check their digital counterparts. They're 10, 12 grand, and they're selling way more of those on the M6. So, you know, take it with a pinch of salt. But yeah, that comment, and I'll pin it and put it in the description, from Mike Padua is exactly what this situation is. We all want a film camera, but it's never going to be the one we want. And when a manufacturer makes something, it'll never hit all the things we want. It'll hit some, and that's enough. And we have to only hope the Polaroid sees that people accept this and that people buy this and purchase their film and decide, hey, we maybe should have a professional line of cameras, not just the Go's, you know, the simple cameras. We should have a professional line because that's where they're at. I can only imagine how hard it has been for them internally to convince the project to get a green flag to make a $600 to 700 euros camera in 2023 when what's selling is Instax 10, 11, and 12. And if you want to have a look, go to my YouTube channel, go to all videos, and click by popular. And that's what's amazing about the market, is the most popular stuff is Instax and the Instax Mini. And that's the result. It's where the money is, the sales, the volume. Like I said, what pays rent is there. It is not in the SX70s. It is not in the Mint cameras. It's not so simple. The specialty cameras, the ones that would be for the enthusiast, are not that smart to make. So that's why we're getting these quirkier brands making them. But yeah, that's my opinion video. I would love to hear what you think about it. If you're excited about this Polaroid, if you're not, if you understand that when Pentax makes their point and shoot, it won't be the Mu 2 or the Ricoh GR. It might be like a XA2 with manual cranking and zone focus, maybe. And everybody will be like, it's $1,000 and it doesn't have DX code reading. Well, maybe it won't, but it will be the best we can have in the time and age. And the fact that somebody like Pentax or Polaroid or Leica or Lomography or Mint is dedicating time to make this stuff is amazing in this time and age. But yeah, thanks for watching. I'll leave a link, like I said, to the post from Threads and Shoot Film Co. Mike Padua is an awesome guy. Highly recommend him. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.